Because you said something, I'm going to take note of it. Not take it personal, but I'm going to take care of it. And I'm going to fix it. And I'm going to show you that I can do that. Because once you do that, that shuts down everything else that they got to say. And for the ones that do want to come back for more, those are the ones that you know are trolling. Those are the ones that we call trolls. Because they always trying to dig deep, trying to get to where you did hit your soft spot. Whereas you got to keep this stuff work relative.
Yeah.
Okay, well, next time you let us know. We can be here all the time.
No, for sure. Check the places at the time. It's now you are tuned into the lunch table. Got some special guests in the building. Family at this point. Family at this point, man. Returning. They almost need no introduction, but because we are here, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. We're gonna start over here.
You already know I go by Jerzy, CEO of Humble Hustler. I got
Yo.
And it's your girl Dria.
Yo.
Together, you know, we go ahead and we push our own thing. We push Humble Hustler, and then she also push
KOKO Daisy as well, but you know, we'll get to that,
You already know it. So we finna shine a light on both of them. No pun intended, no pun intended. But nah, definitely glad to have y'all back. Like I say, y'all pretty much family at this time. It's an occasion, and it's a great feeling each time I see your faces, hear your voices, and welcome you in my presence.
Right.
But since you all been here, I want to say, how long has it been? It's been a year now? 3 months? How long has it been?
No, it's been about it. No, it has been a year. Actually, matter of fact, June makes a year since the last time we actually did. Last June was the last time we did the actual interview with
Time be flying, dog.
Yeah.
Time be flying. And shoot, just about losing time. Hustling, losing time, man. Shoot, the days be going by. You don't even know it. Shoot.
Losing and utilizing it, definitely, because it's gonna be spent somehow. But how and where you spend it for sure. But definitely, just quick, not necessarily just brief. I would say just insight on what you all have been through or been in since the last time we spoke before we actually get into the interview, man. Just what's some things y'all been tapped into, the both of you.
I was gonna say.
Dria first.
Oh, Dria first. Okay.
Ladies first.
Well, since then, just really focus on building the brands. Figuring out different avenues as far as, you know, what's going to make the companies and the brand stronger. So we've been building up the music, putting out more videos, working on merch, working on clothing and everything like that. So it all goes hands in hand, which is nice. So that's just a little overview of what we've been working on so far since the last time you've seen us.
With all that being said, and it sounds like you all understand the work and the sweat equity that it takes to actually go to the next level, but being that we still have the same only 24 hours in the day, how do y'all deal with managing that work and just that arranging of the day that you got to do to make it to the next level, being that you have the same 24 hours? Dria first.
I would say that's a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? That's something you learn over time. Time management is something that you learn over time. So that's always going to be a work in progress, but it's about knowing how to utilize that time. So yeah.
Same question.
I also say, I will only say is discipline. You know, when you have discipline, you know, you can find the time to make what you want to happen. But I do say that trying to structure your time is a work in progress, just like Dria said. Honestly, it's actually, you could teach a class on this. You know, working, it's hard. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty of it. I mean, long nights trying to figure out what you want to put first. You know, some people can't always be happy. I mean, there's things that go into trying to be successful. You know, I mean, I can go ahead and placate to everybody out there, but I want to keep it real. You know, and work, and like Dre said it best, it's a work in progress, and that's every day. It does take time, and I want to let everybody know this ain't easy. Oh, it ain't. It's struggles. It's headaches. It's arguments. It's all types of things that go into making sure that everybody can go to the top. And you know, some people just can't go to the top. You know, and really trying to find that time for everything. It comes down to organization and discipline. Seriously.
No, for sure. Now, to emphasize on what you just said, though, I think that's the key. Just real. You know what I'm saying? So then that's really the key point, or the real reason why I asked that particular question. I want y'all to answer it how y'all did, is because when people see these celebrities or these stars or whatever, they don't understand what it took to get there, and not even what it took, the work and gamble with that work, because you're gonna put all the work in. In reality, it still may or may not happen. And you gotta not necessarily be comfortable, but always be apparent to that fact that we taking a gamble at this day at the end of the day. So why not go all in?
Right.
Why not go all in if you're gambling on yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't bullshit it. You know what I'm saying? Because you bound, you know what I'm saying, to fuck up the gamble.
Exactly.
So definitely, but as far as just the real side of it, when people get there, you know what I'm saying. People call it rags to riches, but that rags is a real thing. I'm not saying y'all in the rag stage, but it's just
but it's the grind. It's the grind.
And I want to hit on that subject because I feel like right now we are definitely in a time where there's different people go through different stages of rags, different times that they in the trenches, you know. And I feel like we get a lot mixed up by how we look and what somebody's living like. You get what I'm saying? And not really what they go through mentally and how they live their life. I feel like that's really the trenches, because even though you add the environment to it, it really starts, sometimes within yourself. You feel me? And if you look at it in that type of way, dog, you can be a product of your environment, but you also, what about the other people that really worked out of their environment to not be a product of their environment? You know what I'm saying? And I want to shine light on that, because I feel like the world, we too busy looking at people's hoods. We looking, and I don't ever want to take away from the street essence and what none of the gangsters did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we also got to open up our brain. Yeah. We got to. You know what I'm saying? This is a global world out here.
But like what you just said, as far as just those people that are just, as far as being a product of your environment and working your way out of your environment, or just simply having the mindset of realizing, hey, maybe my environment is detrimental.
For sure.
Maybe our environment is killing us.
Real talk.
And we're the environment or whatever. But maybe our environment is a barrel, crabs in a barrel, hint. So yeah, this ain't the place for me.
Right.
So yeah, and that's a whole convo within itself. But we finna speak on in the sense of the CEO of Humble Hustle. Okay. We finna stay here for a second. So we got Jerzy in the building, man.
Yes, sir.
For one, man, introduce yourself. Tell the people where you from, where they can find you, and a brief background. Even though you've been for a few times, but for the people that may be watching for the first time.
Yeah, I go by Jerzy. You already know I'm from Columbia, Missouri, but I'm coming straight out of Pensacola, Florida. A little background about me is really just humble hustling, for real. I'm really coming from nothing out of the whole game, I really didn't know I wanted to do music. Music had just really kind of fell in my lap, and I met one person, and then you start noticing, and the start connecting from there. And once I figured out, okay, I got a little traction, a little audience from the beginning, that's when I knew, okay, we about to take this thing to the top. And that's what I'm doing now. And that's what I'm doing right now. So you see it.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. As far as Humble Hustler, it's been some years that this is basically with this particular brand. Right. Y'all been shouting and repping it for more than 2 months. Like I see so many other people, just for the fact, facts. Just for the fact that, you know what I'm saying, like we were saying earlier, you going all in on this dream, on this path. And a lot of people, they pussyfoot it. In other words, in other correlation, for lack of better terms, and I respect the cojones that y'all showing. Like I said, I don't disrespect you, but y'all showing some big nuts, man. I fuck with it, man. It takes that courage to spearhead your own thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? And not say, hey, I want to link up with somebody else, or I want to veer into the back. Say, hey, why not me? Why not us? Right. Why not the fam?
Real tough.
So I fuck with that, man. What you been up to, man?
Man, working. You know me. Working. It's been the grind. Doing the 9 to 5 to support the dream. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what he means when he says, like, we doing it different. We took the G Harbor route. We went legit. We're working at 9 to 5 to support what we want to do. So, but what I've been doing is just focusing on the music as well underneath Humble Hustler, because I'm an artist underneath Humble Hustler. And then, I have KOKO Daisy Fashion, which is my baby. So also working on that as well, just promoting new things with the brand for KOKO Daisy, coming out with new outfits, coming out with new lines and concepts. So listen, juggling a whole bunch of things at one time, but we also have some new stuff coming out with KOKO Daisy as well for October and everything. So a new line will be coming soon. So I'm excited about that and some new pieces. So
really
they'll just
quick,
have to stay
if
posted.
you can, just take this segment and plug KOKO Daisy as far as where they can find that, as far as what's hot. If it's even a sale, a new drop, bro, plug that now. Everything with KD.
Absolutely. So they can find me on Instagram because that's my main platform right now. So KOKO Daisy on Instagram. And it's KOKO, not COCO, Daisy as in the flower. So just to keep it simple. So that's where they can find me and see kind of the image that I'm projecting out, because with KOKO Daisy, it's modest with a modern twist. So I want to bring back that nice little ladylike touch, but also keep it modern enough that ladies don't feel like, we're back in the old days. Like, no, we got to keep up with the time. So that's what I'll say about that. Yeah.
Being that it's 275 degrees outside, and when, in reference to women, as far as dressing classy, or not even saying just formal or covered, but still stylish. But do you find any obstacle or any hindrance, any trouble designing clothes for the summer or just for those occasions to where women gonna show most of their body anyway, like beach wear, like this KOKO Daisy has beach wear. Like, is there a balance with a bikini still being lady-ish?
So it's about walking a fine line, but what I will say about this is not per se always what you wear, but how you wear it. Because that's the thing is with KOKO Daisy, I like simple pieces that are versatile. So it's really up to the individual on how they would like to style it. So it's not per se what you wear, but how you wear it. So if you wear a bikini, how you gonna dress up, how you gonna style it, and I leave that up to the individual. Yeah.
And not even just being a bikini, but have you thought about getting to just beachwear or swimwear?
I live in Florida, baby. I gotta have something to put on me.
One piece,
and everybody else that's KOKO Daisy. So yeah, definitely. We in Florida, we gotta have some beachwear. So
that's what's going on. Just aside from that adventure, man, let me find out you a diamond in the rough on the mic, though. Let me find out you the one that was missing on the mic and everything. Let me find out you the one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand for as far as Humble Hustler, and you have your own KOKO Days, but in reference to Humble Hustler, of course you the man, you the king, CEO of everything. But for sure, you've been the backbone. You know what I'm saying? You've been the post thus far. You've been the one making everything.
Can't forget about Mama Joe.
Well, without Mama Joe, none of this would even be.
Mama Joe is the real choice.
For sure. Definitely. But as far as, in reference to that, I was going to say, as far as you in the mic, was it always something you wanted to do, or as far as I was referenced, it was just something you did to help out with the brand?
No, I've always loved music. I've always been passionate about music. It just, the way it happened, it came about naturally. It was just something sort of like, hey man, let me get on this, and this. And then it just grew from there naturally. So natural is the best thing, but I've always been passionate about music. Call me the jukebox. So yeah.
Speaking of music, I hear you just had a killer performance.
Man.
Oh my God.
Man, let me give it up while we here and let me take a moment to
ran that bad boy back twice. Run that shit back.
We just did I just performed at Club Eden for Battle of the Baddest, hosted by Blake. That was an amazing event. I want to give them props for the professionalism and the way that they handled everything. I was like,
Thank you for allowing us to come out. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So thank you for having us. But I definitely enjoyed myself. And I said, hey, just pop your thing, do what you're doing. And that's it, yeah.
So I respect that. That is dope. Switch it back to you, man.
Sure.
And dealing with this humble hustler business, man. Like I say, y'all been doing this for a minute, for a long time. Y'all got it branded, and every time y'all really at an event, y'all want people to know what their brand is. Y'all want to have something with it on. And going back to just that courage and just that authentic. I'm not gonna say just arrogance, but just the confidence.
The confidence
to say, hey, this is mine.
Right.
This is still mine.
Right.
Since the last time you seen me, it's still gonna be mine. The next time, like, where do you get that from? and that confidence to say, hey, this is mine and it's gonna stay.
I really do believe it's the conviction of God in me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, truth be told, I stand on what I say. I stand my ground.
Mm-hmm.
And Humble Hustler is who I am, personally. That's how I am, you know. Everything that you see we do as a team. And Humble Hustling is always going to be something that you can look after, or you can look and say, okay, I like to replicate that. You know what? Them are the right cast to copy. And I like Humble Hustler is showing in a whole new way. Man, this is the wave that everybody can get on.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like everybody should hop on, because once it's a high roll tide, some people can't surf. You know? And I honestly feel like, yeah, Humble Hustling is one of those things that's a lifestyle, and you gotta live it. And that's why, you know, when you say, man, when you from the beginning to the end, it's who I am. That's how you can see it. It's in me.
Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with rebranding. There's nothing wrong with rebranding, but a lot of people feel like, okay, they don't get the initial traction initially from this particular idea, then it must be a bad idea.
Right.
They don't know, like, if you stick it out, it may be Amazon.
Right. No, seriously.
It may be Apple.
That's true.
You know what I'm
saying? It's the journey, it's the process, it's the grind.
Yeah.
You know, even Nipsey said that, you know, you got to go through all the tested battles to make it. You know, and I feel like that's the thing that kind of makes your story completely different, you know, is because you stuck it out. A lot of people don't stick it out, man. And then even then,
most people don't stick it out.
Right, and you got a lot of people that in 50 get rich or die trying, and that's really how I feel. Because if I die trying in the midst, I'm happy at least trying to get it. You know?
I say that every day, bro.
That's
my mantra today. Like, dog, like that's how I reassure myself with them reaffirmations. Like what you do it for. I'm like, it's a do or die at this point.
And it's gotta happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, this is what I tell myself to keep going.
Right.
Bro, it's do or die.
Right.
If you don't, then it's gonna go.
And you miss on the
You got one life, one vessel.
Exactly.
What you gonna do at this time?
Exactly. You can always real talk. You can always go work the 9 to 5. You can always go home bus for this Uncle Sam listening.
But if you know you got talent, if you know you got something,
exactly,
and you know if you don't do nothing, you know it's gonna go to waste.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
it's on you at the end of the day.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people, like us, you know what I'm saying, we would wake up every day regretting that we didn't chase our goal. And I know for a fact that I would. I wake up every day going that 9 to 5, regretting everything I did, because I didn't chase that. I knew I could have it. I know I can have it. And I look at all the influence that they got now, dog.
And then even with that attempt, you would say, because at the end of the day, we all making attempts.
Of course.
But we go farther. Some go further than the other, and some don't. But on that particular journey, let's say your path is meant for you to pass down the knowledge that you're learning on this particular path to your child, grandchild. Maybe they're the one.
And that could be true. And you know, I feel like all that comes in a later aspect of your life. I feel like a lot of people in our age group right now, they trying to figure out, what can I do for me? You know, and I do believe later on in your life, when you hit your 40s, your 50s, you then start to recognize what you're saying, like, dang, okay, let me pass this knowledge on, because this is probably what I'm here and doing, so I can do. You know, maybe I could reach the other artists out here that don't have nobody. And that could be true, but I feel like everybody kind of come to their own term with that. You know, that's like a basketball player recognizing, all right, my career coming to the end. I may have to be a coach.
You gotta shoot.
You know, you still shoot your shot, but you know, some players don't like to be the coach. You know, and you gotta. But I do say that's the evolving stage.
You got coaches in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. That was players.
Yeah, and didn't get their recognition. Didn't get their recognition as players, but got all the recognition as the coach.
Right.
Phil Jackson. But
Steve Kerr.
you know what I'm saying? Championships before he was a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But quick question, staying on you, man. We finna get real, and you don't have to get too blunt.
For sure.
But being that you've been doing this thus far, and traction is subjective, as far as making it is subjective.
Right.
But we finna just keep it real, man. Of course, you had to have encountered some sort of hate.
Of course.
Of hater.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep it broad, but as far as your particular answer, you can keep it broad, vague. You can spearhead how do you deal with the haters?
I mean, when you deal with the hate, you gotta tune them out. I mean, honestly, I know that sounds easier said than done, but it's what you really have to do. And also, I live with Cat Williams said, shoot, if you ain't got 16 haters, you need to figure out how you get 17 by tonight, because that's how you know you're doing something right, when you got somebody hating on you. And not to mention, if you look at it in the right way, that should be motivation. Okay, and I take that from the mama mentality. Because you said something, I'm going to take note of it, not take it personal, but I'm going to take care of it. And I'm going to fix it. And I'm going to show you that I can do that. Because once you do that, that shuts down everything else that they got to say. And for the ones that do want to come back for more, those are the ones that you know are trolling. Those are the ones that we call trolls. Because they always trying to dig deep, trying to get to where you did hit your soft spot. Whereas you got to keep this stuff work relative, you know, and I feel like even though that we're in a society right now, not even that in the content creation world, that our life is all on the camera. Whereas that's fine, but sometimes you got to be able to understand that if you put your life on the camera, that's what's gonna come with it. You know, you got to be able to, you know,
be mindful what you put on the
exactly.
camera.
Maybe if you have to throw a jab, you throw a jab, but you got to do it in the correct form of fashion. You know, and I feel like we lose sight of that. We lose sight of the class that business is supposed to have. You know, and I feel like everybody do their business their own way. You know, this is just how Humble Hustler does it.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. And I definitely, like I say, I respect the professionalism, the faith base that you all have behind you all, because it's definitely structure within that.
Right.
But speaking on the music, man, let's talk into Humble Hustler's new releases, man. I know you got something new in the kitchen, bro.
We just dropped Never Needed. That was a freestyle that me and Dria did. That was the newest thing that we dropped. I got more things in the pipeline, you know, but stay tuned on the Instagram page and we'll start dropping more dimes on that. But you already know Humble Hustler working. And when you don't hear stuff, it's something boiling up. You know, it ain't never like we just sitting down and nothing ain't happening. You know, we always got something coming. You know, we got a few things in the pipeline, you know, and I ain't never gonna push things and say things is happening before they happen, but we got some big things coming, man. Real talk.
How long did it take you to write your verse on that song?
For which one? For Never Needed? Oh, man, about 5 minutes. I was in the car. He sent me it. He was like, all right, because we was getting ready to go out of town to record.
Did it come from a real place then?
No, it absolutely did. I think it moved me from such a real place that's why it only took me that short amount of time. Because otherwise it would take me longer to sit and meditate on it. But it just came to me and I was inspired. And I said, hold on, let me get this down before I forget it. So he sent me the beat. He said, hey, have this ready because we may do this while we out of town. Woo. Right. I went and listened to it. I said, oh, okay, I'm in the car. Da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, just wrote it down on my phone. And then I was like, okay, let me see how it is with a run through. And then I stuck with it because that's how I was feeling at that time. My other single, how I'm feeling. But yeah, so that's how I was feeling. And, but yeah, so that's how that kind of came about. Just naturally. I feel like things that happen naturally and that are inspired are the things that happen the best, pretty much, so to say. Yeah.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
Speaking back to just 2 nights ago, going back to your
Please
performance.
Going
back to your performance.
Please
we gotta highlight that.
Hey man, y'all gotta wait till the footage.
And I have to give a shout out to him as well, Zybox as well, because he came out in videographer, you know, videoed it and everything. Yeah, shout out to Beast. Shout out to everybody that hands on, but shout out to my dancers as well, because the girls that got up there and the girls that was working, I have to give them some props hands down as well, because they played a big role in that too. So even though the event was nice in itself, everything was laid out great. I appreciate the girls that got up there, worked with us and everything. That was awesome. And to see everybody come together as a collective for that evening and make things happen, shoot, if that's an event that they decide to do annually, let's run it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's run it up. Because that was actually, I had fun being a part of that. And then I enjoyed getting up there, being able to network. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was a great networking event for Pensacola. You know what I'm saying? And for other individuals, artists to meet each other and everything like that. It was really fruitful. So I enjoyed myself. And I'm glad that everybody came out to support. And waiting on some footage. So whenever that drops, you know, I'm going to have to tag everybody in that and clip it, you know, and put it out so everybody can see. But yeah, I enjoyed myself. So yeah.
In reference to the footage, well, of course, the footage will show will the footage, because I'm anticipating, maybe assuming myself, but the footage is going to be the performance. Correct?
Yes, it'll be of my performance, and then we'll have some couple clips, I'm presuming, of like just, things that were going on that evening, because it was a big night. We had a lot of people out. So yeah, but the main thing.
Then what I want to get into, because that was kind of like a segue, being that, because I don't want to like overlap, being that the footage is going to show what's going to happen. I don't want you to say, oh, how was it on stage? We're going to watch the footage.
Right.
But take me into the preparation, the hour, the day before. How did you feel before
Lord.
you actually pulled up to the building? How was Dria's preparation before that particular performance? We know the aftermath.
Right.
Take me into the preparation.
Actually, not
that
so
the
much.
footage don't have. Go ahead.
Actually, not so much nervous, so to speak. Of course, you get the butterflies.
Anxious.
You get the butterflies of just, because this is my craft, so I take it seriously. So I always want to put my best foot forward. But the preparation as far as picking out the songs. How are you going to present your songs? What goes into that as well? Having your engineer put that together. But really what I ultimately told myself was just have fun with it. Because when I try hard, I die hard. So I told myself, of course you do your rehearsals, you do your this. But I said, just have fun with it, be yourself. And that's the best way that they're going to get to know Dria as an artist. Just be yourself and have fun with it. So that was really like the main preparation that went into that.
Boom. Give me a detail your best performance all time.
Damn,
off the rip.
That's hard.
Off the rip.
I got a lot more in me I can give. But all right, I felt like that we did a little Florida tour where we went from Pensacola all the way down to, I believe, Tampa. I think that whole Florida run for the Mars Fest with Ty and my dog.
God.
I was trying to figure out his rap name, but yeah, my dog and
Sane and everybody,
yeah, and man, we ran it up. They did their thing, man. I'm gonna be real. Everybody on that first album, they did their thing, for real, and that was dope. I think that was like a real good jump start to how we started off in this thing. So yeah, I want to say that was probably the best run. But got a lot more, so y'all gotta stay tuned. Shoot, y'all just seen it. We getting started. We ain't even hit our peak yet. So shoot, we got some time. When we come back, ask me about 10 more years. And I know that's fine. That's time. I know y'all looking at me like,
we're in the building blocks right now, is what he's trying to say. We're in the building blocks right now. But yeah, and it's not easy building something, and it takes time.
That just mean in the next decade we're still going to be relevant.
Exactly.
We're looking forward to it. But in contrast to how you're answering these questions on camera and how he's presuming himself on camera, I've seen you perform. Your performance is very energetic, very live. How do you, I'm going to just shorten it and just have you answer, how do you, per se, get in that mode before you perform?
It really just got to take my time. I pray, meditate, allow myself to get ready. You always got to get yourself right first before you get on the stage. And I think the biggest thing is my meditation and proper preparation. That's real. That's the bottom line to it. Proper preparation and my meditation. And then when you mix those things together, that's what you get. Because like I said, this is true to who I am. This is what I do. So what you see is on stage is what you see, and that mic in my hand just bring a different side of me.
That's what's up. Lunch table tradition, and y'all may have answered this many times. It slipped my mind, but definitely it's just a tradition for each interview. I want both of you all to give me a top 5. Give me a top 5 artists of all time.
Oh, top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5. Oh Lord. Okay, this is not in any specific order. I'm gonna take this over. This is not in any specific order.
That's hard.
But I'm gonna say Tupac. I'm gonna say Nicki Minaj. I'm gonna say Lil Wayne. Who else I got on the roster? Because I know I'm gonna definitely forget one. Kendrick is gonna be one of mine. Okay, top 5. I'm at 4. And 50 Cent. And 50 Curtis Jackson. Yes, sir. Save the best for last. Yes, sir. Curtis.
I gotta say, Tupac. I say 50 Cent. I'm going to throw Young Boy in my top category.
Young Boy?
Yup, throwing Young Boy up in there. And then I gotta throw DMX in there for sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
and then sometimes, you know, I got that little Slim
Really
Shady.
quick, really. Oh, well, I don't want to cut off, but
So
as
Illma's
DMX,
cool.
as far as the DMX,
Yeah.
like just quick shout out to DMX, bro.
Man.
Like his prayers is better than most people's songs.
Okay, that man had an anointing on
Ready
his
to meet
life,
him.
okay?
Ready to meet
That
him
man
is a
had an
song that
anointing
you want
on
to
his
hear
life.
how he prays. That's how he pray, and yeah, man, he touched me with his lyrics, with his music, with his art. Like, man, yeah, him for sure.
But yeah, I ain't mean to go.
No, you good. I think I said it, but
Transit to your
then
next
the
one.
M, and that was it. I really think that was it, though. Yeah, it's my five. That's my five. I think I might be. Give me a little bit more time to think about it, but I might be missing somebody.
What you said?
I said Tupac, 50,
Youngboy.
Youngboy, DMX, and then
Okay.
yeah.
You 3 things currently you cannot live without. Currently.
Oh Lord, that's number one. The Lord. That's a good question. 2, I'm gonna say gratitude, because if you're not grateful for what you have right now, you won't ever be grateful for what you have in the future. And 3, H2O, water. We in Florida, it's hot. I gotta have some water, so I'm gonna say H2O. H2O is my 3rd. So yeah, essentials of life. Life essentials.
Sure.
I say faith, my mind, brain, and then really my bodily organs to keep my body going to be able to do this. So those are 3 things I can't live without.
Speaking on your number 2, as far as your brain, is that just referencing just mental health?
Mental, your knowledge, you know, really your knowledge, because knowledge is key in this world. So
How do you feel about June being Men's Mental Health Month? Like,
I really think it's big, you know, and I also feel like, you know, there should be more, I really honestly feel like there should be more mental health awareness for a lot of people. Not just for men, also for women, but everybody, because we all go through things, and a lot of people don't talk about it, you know, so I really do think mental health is big, you know, so I think it's awesome,
that's what's
you
up.
know, I think we should do more of it, we need to.
That's what's up. You were gonna say something?
I was gonna actually add in, Legendary Performance has a mental health thing that they're actually going to be a part of. I'll be posting that on my IG to go ahead and sponsor, because they're going to have an event to go ahead and promote and bring awareness to that. Because I'll take a little bit of a different angle as a female. I think women get a lot of attention in this area, but men are equally as important as well, because we're supposed to be a unit. So I think that both are supposed to be 50-50. So let's bring out the same amount of awareness for both parties. So yeah, but we have an event going on, and I'll be posting about that on my page. So people, if they want to come out and support, we'll have the community out there. It'll be sponsored by different, you know, vendors and everything, for men's mental health awareness. So I think that'll be awesome. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. As far as Humble Hustler, spinning back to you. As far as Humble Hustler, as far as the brand, as far as the fam, is it deadlocked at this time, or y'all still recruiting?
Oh, I mean, it really, when we don't want to, I don't want to ever get that mixed up, you know. Humble Hustler is a platform for everybody to come and, you know, show their talent and connect. You know, the doors is always open. We don't have set in stone spots, you know. The 3 main spots is, you know, taken up right now on the Humble Hustler. So right now we looking for all collabs, anybody that want to collab, feature, you know, we don't mind. That's what we open to. You know, we also just bring in, if you want to show your talent, we don't mind. So,
Good segue. Good segue.
Yes,
Speaking of, well, that's a great segue. As far as your collaborations and your just ventures that you do with people,
right.
What has been some of your best collaborations thus far? It can be tracks, it can be just productions to a show, it can be cinematography, but who are some people you would like to shout out as far as just collaborations you've done thus far with this?
Box. I want to give a shout out to Vivid, and then also I want to give all the people that was on that first album a shout out. Those guys put in their time and effort, and then I also want to give a shout out to everybody that's still putting in their time on their own. You know, so yeah.
I'm gonna say our engineer, Aaron Hurst Music. That
Of
man,
course, already.
offer it. You know, without a good engineer and videographer, you know, it's hard to do. The collaborations, that's awesome. Another thing that we have dropping actually in July is Takeover. that's the next project. So shout out to V and Spice. That's the next project that we're gonna have dropping in July. And I was really excited, and I think that went really well. So I'll be glad for everybody to see the graphics on that. And that was shot by Zopbox. So that was one of my favorite collaborations that we did as well. Yeah.
That's what's up. Once again, shout out to Beast. Just speaking on just the city, and it just goes beyond just the city. And we finna just go outside of you all for a second, just get your view on things.
Yeah.
It's summertime. People outside, people hot. They minds going crazy. Usually mess happens in the summer, but for some reason this summer the mess is just overboard. Like every 2 seconds is something new that's mess.
Yeah.
And is it the heat? Like what's going on? What's y'all take on the mess that's going on in Pensacola so
Now,
far?
why you asking why you asking a can of open worm question? Because it could be so much that's going on just in the world. I ain't even gonna say it's Pensacola. I'm gonna say it's the world.
I'm gonna say it's something in there.
But it's why people hate themselves so much to where they just willing to throw it all away at any moment.
I think that's everybody, man. Every time I open the phone, that's everybody. It ain't just in Pensacola. It's everybody around the world.
That's what I said. Like, is it the heat? Like, is it when they get hot?
I think
because when jingle bells come in, we all want to hold hands.
I really don't know. I want to say really it's what we feed our mind, and that's the biggest thing that what contributes to our life is what we feed our mind.
What you put in, what's gonna come out.
If you feed yourself trash, that's how you gonna act. You know, and so
that's a good answer because I think that this is all done by design because they're purposely feeding us this.
Of course.
Feeding us, like I don't respect nobody, but like these baddies, you know what I'm saying? Feeding us
all
this
the influencers out here. You gotta be real with this
feeding us
stuff,
all
man.
this.
Yeah.
So that's the people think this is what reality is, and they mimic it.
Man, and I'm starting to notice how really lost we are. And how disconnected we are.
We're led astray.
And that's true. You know, we're led exactly. And that's a device. And if you notice, we all got it the same. So that comes down to mental. And also comes down to who you are in yourself. What type of truth do you want to find? If you don't want to do your own research, well then hey, you can be the rat in the rat race. Then you got others that are doing their research and they trying to break away and take the narrow path. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're finna go ahead and wrap this up, man. Let's tell the people where can they find you, give you shout outs. Go dumb, man. Lay it all out at this point. Over here. Jerzy,
man, go ahead. You can go find me on Instagram, J Morilla. You already know all one, JYMO Rilla. Go ahead and check out my Facebook, JERZY KAP. And yeah, go ahead and tap in. Everything is on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. Stay tuned, man. We got a lot going on. You don't want to miss this. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for any artist that's out there that has business going, other things going in their career that they want to get out there. We're doing a collab with Vivid. So if you're really serious about getting your artistry out there and your brand, go ahead. You can hit any one of us up at Humble Hustler 12 on Instagram. You can hit my personal DM, J Morilla. You can find all the people that's on my team.
And for me, you can find me on my personal page, Dria W21. That's for Instagram, Facebook, Dria Wallace. And anything with KOKO is the KOKO Daisy. KOKO, Daisy as the flower. And if not, baby, you'll find it because there's only one KOKO Daisy. So not too hard to find. But yes, and just kind of, So thank you for 850 for having us out, man. This is family.
Thank you.
We appreciate y'all.
You already know. This is the lunch table. We out.